What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nick from Run the Foot Market. Happy Tuesday morning. You guys are back in it for the podcast style-esque, whatever it is, Team of the Week aggregate predictions. I'm with Jamie, FUT Economist. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, Nick. How are you?
Good. I haven't seen you in like 8 weeks. Guys, Jamie was away, and I haven't made a video in 2 months. So we're back on YouTube. I hope you guys are ready to see us and ready for this conversation. We have a Team of the Week 20 aggregate predictions video. If you guys are new, because we haven't been doing this weekly for a few weeks, we did them probably, I'd say, 5 or 6 weeks in a row. Jamie works very hard on this, and we come together and we kind of collect a lot of thoughts. We talk about Team of the Week. We usually try to get out Monday late or early Tuesday, so you guys have like 24 hours to digest this before it comes out. It's an interesting Team of the Week this week. How this works is, Jay, you want to explain it? I love when you explain it. It's so much better than when I say it.
Sure.
What is this?
So basically, I take the top predictors that do Team of the Week predictions from around the community, and I put them through a sorting formula that takes into account the number of people that have them in the predictions, plus some other things, including the number of each position, the strength of the predictors that actually have them in the predictions. So if they have a higher average out of 23 on their average predictions, then they have their predictions have a better chance of being in, and then it spits out this team. So the goal is to sort of create this unbiased aggregated prediction that is sort of the best of the predictions that we can kind of give.
Perfect. So this Team of the Week is quite interesting, guys, because there is, if you look around, before we talk about anything in this Team of the Week, if you look around at predictions online, I think a lot of you guys are probably, I'm assuming this video is going to get a lot of clicks actually this week, because the predictions, I'm serious, the predictions I've looked around on everywhere, they are so different, man. Everybody doesn't know what's going on this week. It seems like everyone's pretty confused, and it's a tough week because you've got, I believe, at an outside thought, we'll start off the video before we talk about any of the players in the Team of the Week. You've got 3 ones to watch us, I think, that potentially, this is like a small potential. For me, it's Promes, Witsel, and Cancelo. Is that with you two? Did you have a fourth that was not any of those 3?
Yeah, it was Promes. I didn't see anyone have Witsel.
No one had Witsel, but
no one had Witsel, yeah.
I got a thing for Witsel, and I wanted to talk about it real quick.
Cool. Okay, yeah. Promes, Witsel, and Cancelo then, yep.
Yeah, so those 3, and I wanted to include Witsel because Witsel had a performance last week that almost got him in last week. Not this week, but he was very close to getting in the other week. He's on a website as he's got a man of the match on one of the websites.
Okay.
And I wanted to just bring it up because he scored a goal at the end. Now, Jamie and I were talking, guys, before this video and talking about things they could do, to throw in players per se. Now I think how do you pronounce his name? Rafael Guerrero. I think he is going to get in, and I don't think Witzel's going to get in. I just wanted to mention that to you guys because I've seen this before where we saw the Fabinho with 1 assist thing just get thrown into the Team of the Week. He had a good performance the week before when he didn't get in. Then he had an assist, and they threw him in the next week. So yeah. I'm just telling you that Witzel had a really good game last week. He's been playing very well recently. He's been almost due week on week on week, and he did score this weekend in a big win. So that's the one I wanted to,
Yeah, even to add on to that point, Nick, that guy's name after Guerrero, he played left mid for Dortmund in that game. He only had a goal and an assist, right? So that's not that much more significant of contribution than a goal from center mid for Witsel. So it's not totally out of the question. Just might just be happenstance that the predictors all sort of came to that same conclusion, but that doesn't necessarily properly represent how close that pick could be for EA.
I agree, and I saw some with I saw 1 or 2 sites with Hakimi, so that Dortmund game looks like somebody's going to get one, and I'm just not confident enough to say it's any of them, so that's why I want to just put that in.
Sure.
I think we've got more of a discussion that I would like to start off with you before we get into anything else with this between Quincy Promes and I think it's Quincy Promes, I think. He's one of my favorite players on FIFA, guys, by the way. And I think that one's really interesting because I'm pulling it up right now. I use FootMob, guys, to look at a lot of games a lot of the time. Jamie's pulling up this algorithm. I don't do predictions, but I am very intact, usually with ones to watch cards and knowing what's going on and who should be in and who shouldn't. Rather, who is just deserving, who actually deserves to get in, whether or not EA puts them in. I think I'm good at evaluating that. So Quincy Promes, he's got 2 goals he's got 1 goal and 1 assist. And he had a disallowed goal. I think he either missed a pen. I don't know what it was. In a 5-0 win. Now, he's coming off a man of the match, which is going out of PAX. I think it just went out of PAX 2 hours ago.
Yep.
Is when his man of the match went out of PAX. So this is going to be an interesting scenario. EA is not one to always really throw. They like to, I think, give players a week sometimes before putting in another special card into
sort of
FIFA.
Protects the value of the card that they just released. Yeah, it kind of makes sense in terms of like keeping consumers happy. You'll see they do that with like upgrades as well. Sort of they follow that sort of thought process of the reason that they upgrade the informs. They don't screw over people that had their previous inform. Anyway, keep going.
So yeah, no, I just think it's for me interesting to point out, right? His ones to watch, guys. By the way, I've sold 2 of mine. I always like to be clear about this. I don't know if you have any ones to watches, right?
I'm just telling.
Yeah, so I'm just telling the guys watching the video today that I have, and you guys know on stream, I had sold 4 of mine that I had bought at 90. I sold them at 170. Now this dude was 30 a week ago, so you guys have to understand that's where he was a week ago. He was 30,000 coins. He's 170 right now. If he's not in this team of the week, he will probably drop down to about that 100, 110, 120 range. You guys will have a really good opportunity to make coins. Just buy it. Give it an hour or 2 to drop down and buy it because that's a very lacking position in La Liga. He will rise back up because what this means as well, and what I was just talking about is he has a man of the match, right? This man of the match just went into packs for a very short amount of time. It's a very, very good card. It's a striker. It's not the same position as the ones to watch. That will go up a lot if the ones to watch is not in. I'm not sure if they're going to put him in because that quick turnaround and because it's not like he had a hat trick. They beat Levante, who's in 12th. Sevilla's in 4th. So they won 5-0. I don't know the value of him having he only had an assist. He didn't even have a contribution in the first half. He had an assist in the second half, and then he had a second goal in the 90th minute. So really seemed like he scored the 5th goal. You know what I'm saying, Jamie? So it's like
5th goal and a 5-0 win.
If he had a hat trick, I think I would sit here and say, guys, I think he's in team of the week. But for me, that's a little bit more of a questionable one this week. I'm not positive about that, and I'll let you, guys. I'll let him talk. I promise. The second thing, really quickly, I want to add in with the Juventus guys. I have 6 Cancelo ones to watches. I'm not hyping this up. I might take a little bit of a ballsy risk on this. It's a promo week coming up. Supposedly should be ones to watch Friday. We're assuming, or something with Lunar New Year or something. These guys can't stop bringing content. So there will be something this weekend, which we always think is going to boost the team of the week a little bit. So a guy like Cancelo, he was not man of the match for the game, I believe, but he did receive a 7.7 off the bench in 20 minutes, which is really good. That's a really high match rating.
Yeah, the way that they do their match ratings, that's actually pretty high because a lot of it has to do with like completed passes and completed dribbles and stuff like that, completed tackles. So that's actually a pretty high rating. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that he's a shout. He's not in our predictions. He's not in a lot of people's predictions. I actually have only seen him in one, which is Simple Blues, who's in this prediction. He played right mid. He got subbed on. He scored the tying goal. And then he drew a penalty, I believe, or drew a free kick for Ronaldo, I believe, to get the game-winning goal. So I don't think Ronaldo's going to get a team of the week. There is one scenario where EA might throw him in for a game winner to sell packs if they're going to put in the old ones to watches with the new ones to watches for a new upgraded Ronaldo ones to watch. I doubt it. Lazio is a good team. They're in 8th, so I think it's a comfort behind Winnie. He makes the big contribution off the bench. I think it's possible. I'm just letting you guys know that's another one that just wanted to talk about 2 players that were not in here today. And then, that's really all I have. Jamie, what are your thoughts on those?
Yeah, man. I mean, overall, I think it's going to be an interesting team of the week. Obviously, we don't have the Premier League playing this week because they had a bye week for the various cups. So It is going to be sort of like a German-dominated, and German Serie A and La Liga dominated team of the week, which is always kind of interesting. It makes it a little bit difficult for predictors, as you said, Nick. There's a lot of disparity in the picks this week. I actually, when I do the sorting algorithm, it spits out the number of unique values, so the unique picks that were in the different team of the week predictions that we have. And this week actually had the most unique picks. It had 44 unique picks in here. So narrowing things down, as Nick said, is a little bit difficult. I agree for the most part, everything that Nick said. I do. I'm a little bit more, a little bit less optimistic about Cancelo's chance of getting in. I just think the fact that he's held to the standards of a right mid, the fact that he didn't get on paper another goal contribution, maybe depending on what site you use, but depending on what league you use too, sometimes being fouled for a penalty that ends up being a goal is counted as an assist, so that it depends on what EA's sort of metrics are, what they use in terms of, counting goal contributions and whatnot, or even if they're that strict about counting goal contributions, How did they decide who gets the team of the week? I personally don't think as a right mid that he would get it. If he was a right back, I think he'd be a shoo-in for getting a team of the week for a goal and drawing a penalty and basically coming on and being a game-changing player. But as a right mid, I don't personally think he's going to do it. Either way, I mean, you guys know the deal. It's all about selling one to watches early. But where something like this, where it's like a little bit more of a niche, not a niche case, but like a edge case, sometimes you can actually make profit if you held through. So it's going to be interesting to see how that price develops. Other cards, sort of like as highlights that potentially won't get in. We'll talk about the cards that actually are probably going to get in a second. But Lozano was another one that might not, could get in. He's got 2 out of the 6 picks this week in terms of predictions. He would be an interesting one because he could potentially get a left wing card. Obviously, his informs and his base card right now are on the right side. A left wing card would be interesting because the likes of Tagliafico could go up in terms of link investing because he's the strongest left back rather in the Eredivisie, and the people that would want to link him with De Ligt and De Jong, that could be kind of interesting in terms of link investment. So if you see that one, I would jump on that quickly, right? Because I don't think a lot of people are assuming that this is going to happen just because Lozano hasn't gotten in a lot of predictions. So that could be one if you see Lozano gets in at the 6 or at the 3 p.m. release, then you want to jump on that right away. In terms of players that are getting in this week, I think aside from guys like Lala and maybe Gomez, you can make the argument for Benzema if this new meta comes in and everyone's about crossing. He could be kind of interesting. Di Maria could be kind of helpful in terms of making links to the guys like Mbappe and obviously Neymar as a central position, but he is a cam, and 2-star weak foot as a cam is like the opposite of ideal. So that could make things kind of tricky. But yeah, I mean, overall, it looks like a decent team of the week. And as you said, Nick, they can sort of toggle it up and down if they want to, depending on if they want to juice the team of the week for this one-to-watch promotion. And as you said, and as we sort of mentioned before, the one-to-watch promotion, so far, the transfer market, the real transfer market, hasn't been really exciting this winter, right? You've only had essentially Higuain, maybe Perisic if that gets confirmed. Now, though, Boateng going to Barca. I mean, there really hasn't been too much to sink your teeth into. And unless they drop these previous summer one-to-watches back in the packs. They're going to have the SBC, which could get people excited to get the old one-to-watches back kind of into packs, but they'd be on tradable packs. You would think that what else would they do to get people excited about packs? Well, maybe they juice the team of the week. So yeah, you could see some of those edge one-to-watches getting in. It makes me more confident that someone like a Lala, who's only in 3 out of the 6 predictions, is going to get in. I personally think he's got a much better chance than 3 out of 6 sort of looks. He came on, scored the only goal in the game, and it was the winning goal. And it wasn't a penalty, as sometimes a lot of his informs come from penalties because he's the penalty kick taker for them.
Yeah.
But this goal wasn't from a penalty kick, so and being that it was the only goal of the game, it was a winner. They kept a clean sheet. I think he's got a very good chance of getting it, despite the fact that it would be his 4th inform, which, by the way, for a right back is absolutely insane. So that would be one in terms of link investing. That'd be a big deal as well. Thinking about someone like UCL Varane, and maybe even like Golden Mbappe or Inform Mbappe, people to link with him would be a big deal as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at this thinking a few things like if Donnarumma and Cancelo, like if you were to see both of those players hop in, you're going to see a lot of Serie A defenders go up in price this weekend.
Yep.
In terms of guys that are looking to make coins this week off of team of the week, off of rewards, I would look towards the direction of probably Serie A back line / connecting to the midfield and maybe Bundesliga players. Like,
yep.
That's really what's
in there as well.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me this week for sure. Like, I also think that Semedo could push the prices up of some lower budget guys. Like I was thinking like the center back Lenglet that has a lot of games on the PGP that I've seen. Like a lot of people use Lenglet Champions League cards, so that's something that budget wise with the card like Semedo, I think you'd have a certain FIFA base certain base users trying that, kind of working a little triangle out or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not the best team of the week, guys. I think we might be shocked with some players that really get in off of almost nothing. I know that Simple Blue does a really good job of kind of like giving other candidates to get in. So I think, yeah, Lozano's a push. I know that like Party from Atletico Madrid has like a really, really outside chance. Nobody has him in the predictions, but he did have a really good game this weekend. So you just have a bunch of players like that are kind of on the edge. I know I saw him in one prediction. I've seen him around that Dybala might get in. I think he had I'm not sure statistic-wise. I know that in the game that they played against Lazio, he had like I believe the reason why some predictors are putting him in is because he had 44 out of 44 completed passes. So he didn't. But for me, guys, like I think he needs to get. You got to at least an assist if you're going to do some, like, to get a 92 rated card, you're going to have to get some kind of contribution as an attacker, especially at his tier.
To pull Pogba, you've got to at least put something on the score sheet.
Yeah, for sure. So I think outside of that, like, there's not many people that they could really toss in.
Will be an interesting team of the week, though, because obviously we've had the team of the week SBC this week, and people could be stacking the tradable team of the week SBC card or packs, right? And we know what that does to the supply of the team of the week right away, especially if they, as we've sort of been talking about, if they do juice the team of the week and they put a bunch of watches in it, obviously, when people will want to open up their tradable saved packs if they do have an exciting team of the week. So if that does happen, look for the price of these guys to be misvalued early and maybe be a little bit too low. And in that case, sort of the method there is to get on early, buy some of the players when they're low and misprice early, and then you just hold until later that evening. Obviously, you want to sell before rewards and when the supply gets re-upped, but that's a method that generally does work pretty well.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at this potential team of the week, trying to think of some things that would go up around him. I think with Lala. What's funny, guys, is like Lala, every time he gets a new card, Mbappe's gold goes even higher. And I know that's kind of crazy because Mbappe's gold is so expensive, but I've seen Mbappe's gold go up almost 40, 50K every time Lala gets a new card, especially when he got the 86. That's going to be a very in-demand card. I think Lala's another card, guys, that if he does have a shot to get in, I think it also helps that, like, you have guys like Cancelo playing right mid and things like that. Like, just not even that Cancelo's in this, Semedo as well. He's a right back. That, for me, is interesting. I looked at his Semedo in Barca today. He had a goal, and they won 2-0, and he had a shutout. So I think, for me, he doesn't even have an inform. I think he will get in. That's interesting. And it's like, I don't think EA is going to limit it to one right back, so I think Lala really does have a chance. What I was going to say was that, guys, look out for Lala. That inform over on PlayStation, it probably did something similar on Xbox, just not the same price. It got up to like $225 last week at rewards. And what you have to remember about the 86 is that it's an 86 Team of the Week card from a Team of the Week SBC. So it has a lot of supply, and it's finally starting to get rare because I'm starting to see now when the market's steady and people are buying, that it's jumping more than it did with just 5 to 10K. So it got up to 225 last week, and now it's down at like 195, 200. So I'm thinking if he isn't in, that you will see a very, very big price increase with him, with some potential panic buyback. Yeah. Because I'll tell you this, 25 out of 30 games that play in Weekend League have this card. So it is so in demand, this guy. He's in almost everyone's team. He's in my team even now. I have a red one.
He's in my team too, yep.
Yeah, I'm using the 84. So, it's like very in demand card. And then, other than that, I don't really think there's too much to talk about here. I think Gomez is interesting. Do you know exactly what Gomez did? I'm going to look this up. What did Gomez do? Atlanta.
Had it pulled up. I don't remember off the top of my head, though.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I got you. So, let's see. Gomez had this week, they tied Roma. Interesting. They tied Roma, and he probably had a hat trick. Let me see. He had 2 goals and a tie, and he had man of the match. Okay, I can understand that. Is Roma ahead of them at the table? Yes. Okay. I think I don't love players that don't win games, but he had 2 goals and an assist. 2 goals and an assist? What's going on here? Hold on a second. He had 2 assists, not 2 goals. Interesting.
It's a little tighter.
That's very tight. That's interesting. He's in 4 out of 6, which is actually surprising. I want to just take a look real quick while we're at it. See if we have any panic selling going on with his past team of the week. I don't know if anybody's probably not reacted to it. Yeah, I mean, he's 75K. He's not even down. So, yeah, the only players that I'm seeing right now in the market, guys, based off like these predictions or things like that are down a little bit, is just Lala. That's the only one I've seen that's really been kind of sold down a little bit. Other than that, I'm not seeing much. Cancelo's low because you have the newer, the newer version of the Future Star card, the right back Calabria.
Right. Yep.
So that's impacting that a lot.
Just a bunch. His one to watch could go kind of back into packs. It's sort of at the minimum if they got SBC stuff.
Yeah, that's honestly, man, why I just wanted to say in the beginning of the video today that I do think there's a shot that they might toss in a once to watch or 2 this week. Because I just feel like with the once to watch promo upcoming, it gives people a reason to like be a little bit more excited. if, they've gotten an upgrade this week. If you're going to catch that vibe, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Who knows, guys? We're always trying to outread EA. Other than that, man, I have, nothing else to add. Poulsen, Quagliarella. Looks like this is a big team of the week for long-term icon solution investing. One of these team of the weeks where you'd look to pick up probably a guy like whether it's Donnarumma or a Quag or, those kind of guys for their minimum prices when they're in packs and kind of check back on FIFA in a month later and you're probably almost making double. That's kind of how the vibe has been with Team of the Weeks recently, is that usually 2 to 3 weeks out of packs, even sometimes when the packs are ending, when they do hit their lows, the guys that are, because of this daily content right now, guys, the SBC market is just absolutely thriving, especially inform-wise. It's
absolutely.
I'm starting to even consider it. I've gone and picked up some, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Caligari? I started to pick up some, even though he was 30 the other day. I'm still buying it 34 right now because I still feel like it's not only did I watch the 83 go from 19 to 34 in 10 days out of packs, it's a +2 and it's one of the cheaper 85s.
Yep.
So that's just where I'm at as well.
Yeah. Plus, same thing too. You can pick up the I'm gonna butcher his name. The right mid in the Premier League who's got the Fanta card now, 82 rated.
Dude, you know how many? Bro, I picked up a lot of him. I bought probably 15 of him. If you guys don't know who Jamie's referencing, I'm gonna pull up him right now.
There's a lot to like about that. Obviously, the cheapest 81 rated special card in the Premier League right now is $20K or something like that. So there's a lot about it that I really like. So it's this orange card, and it is called. His name is, I think it's Jahaz. He transferred. It's Jahan Bach. He plays for Brighton. Yep.
Yeah, so this is the thing, guys. I didn't realize that this guy was even in the Premier League until I looked at his details. I was like, hold on a second. This dude's 15K. That's the minimum, by the way, for man of the matches. Mm-hmm. I think what Jamie likes about it so much and what I like about it is that really in the Prem at that right mid, you have Mars and Salah, and I think people are just bored of it at this point, and there's not options there. You kind of realize, whoa, this guy's 4-star. He's got 87 acceleration, 86 sprint speed, 90 shot power, and 91 jumping. You're like, whoa. So I think that is another shout as well. I really like that. I picked that up this week. And then, I think that what we'll end up doing, guys, in what you guys can expect for this weekend is obviously probably Friday would be the ones to watch. I don't know how they're going to do it, but you will probably expect them to start a man of the match. Maybe they'll do something like a man of the match with this team of the week because they did that last year at some time, I think. They put in an extra 5 cards with the team of the week, I think. You remember that? They were purple cards, like Ericsson.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that because of the dating with how because I know they're going to bring out probably a Lukaku, a Willian. Those guys had a man of the match opportunity. So that will either do that with team of the week or that will also come out potentially just on Friday night or Thursday night or whenever they're going to decide to release Fantas. All right, other than that, I have...
Yeah, one more thing before we wrap up, actually. I just remember, since there's no Premier League in this in this team of the week, I know there's a couple people, at least in my stream, that still do the Fabinho flipping. And the guys that are the meta and Davinson Sanchez flipping weekly for the gold cards. Obviously your margins are getting even more thin at this point. Plus, I think they're even razor thin this week just because there's no link investing that you can do for the Premier League because obviously there's no Premier League informs in here. Sort of a niche point, but one that for anyone that does help. At least worth saying.
Yeah. Well, I think something to mention as well is that what is I never like doing this stuff, but I made some coins last week and the week before. The week before, I don't know what the team of the week was. I made a lot of coins on somebody. I made some coins on Modric's card this week. I had bought it at 75 before team of the week, and I got it out of him at 90 because the high rateds really do go up out of packs. What I was wondering is that Di Maria is he an 85 or an 84? He's an 84.
4, yeah.
All right, that's a big. Well, I'm thinking for me, guys, that he is up a little bit. If you can land that Di Maria in the 5K range with the amount of SBCs that EA is dropping.
Sure.
You could probably expect that to actually increase in value this week. I would not be surprised.
Especially if they do want to watch SBCs again, right? Because that's just going to... And they're repeatable, right? So they just pull stuff off the market. Actually, are there any 83s in here? What rating is Gomez?
I'm even thinking 82s because I was looking back last year at a lot of the players, a lot of the SBCs. 2 of the SBCs had 82 rating, and I looked at the graphs on Flippin', and 82s during the Ones Watch program last year had 2.4K, which pushed up the prices of 83s and pushed up the prices of everything. I don't think we have 83s in here. I mean, Donnarumma's an 82. Benzema's an 84. I looked up the Quag. He's an 80. Gomez is an 84.
Benzema's 10K right now, dude. What the fuck? It's 9K.
We have I think it's because of the... I actually don't know why that's so high. Oh, La Liga SBC came out today. That's why.
Oh,
yeah. All right. Well, that was worth a shot. I don't really see much. All right, dude. Well, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. It's been fun.
All right, guys. So we should be back with whether it's every other week or just a little bit more often with this. Yeah, so not a bad team of the week. It's going to be really close, guys, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. They come out with team of the week at the time is, I think it's 3 p.m. UK on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure if you guys are interested in knowing what actually comes out, just turn on notifications for EA or just make sure you check your phone at that time according to where you are from. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. I appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you guys in another week soon.
Peace. Peace.